All right, so this objection is all about a money objection. It's something you guys are going to come up with a lot. And it also has right before that a confidence objection. All right, so now this individual person is actually working part-time, and he's seen some of our stuff. He's been in our group for a little bit, and he was pushed up to myself for me to close the deal. And the objection comes up twofold. You're going to hear me at the end of a presentation loop. So, right, we do discovery, presentation, right? And then we get into the actual close. You're going to hear the end of that presentation loop. You're going to hear him have some hesitation. He's going to ask, do I have confidence? Right. So when we talked earlier in this course about setting the tonality for the sales call, controlling your energy, controlling how you come across to another person, you're going to hear what I do at that point, where I build a little rapport. I take it from a serious note to a more like, let's laugh about it. Obviously, I have confidence in my own shit. This is why, right? And then he has a money objection. The money objection being that he has a certain amount of money, but he really should be using it for debts. He should be using it to pay off a debt that he has and not to invest. And this is a common objection you guys are going to run into, where people are going to have the mindset of an expense instead of an investment. They're viewing your service or your product as a negative instead of the future potential ROI that it has. And we have to make them see that this is an investment, not an expense. That has to be done. Another way that I do it here is I talk a little bit about opportunity cost, and I talk a little bit about how this going now is going to be able to pay this other thing off in the future, plus a whole bunch more once you get to that. So let's go over and watch the call, the live call, and I'll stop it at the right moment so you can see what's going on. The proper foundations, get some clients, and progressively push forward. You've got enough budget there set aside, right, for like 2-3 months, depending on how the next project goes. If we keep it around that level, right? And then after that, we should be acquiring clients to pay for it from then on out. It should be a cyclical thing, and then we scale it from there.
Are you confident?
So let's pause it there, guys. So like, listen to what just said. He sat there and he thought about it at the end of the presentation. This is him. Right. So what's going through his head? What's going through his head is, that makes sense. What you just said makes sense. He's obviously, mostly in agreement, but he doesn't have certainty yet. So it sounds to me, based on that answer, he's got certainty in the product and the service, but he's not yet certain in me. Do you have confidence yet? We're always talking about what are the 3 10s: certainty in me, my service, and my company. To me, the answer here tells me certainty in the actual product, in the service, but not yet in me. Are you confident? Right. So then I have to answer that with what I do here.
I mean, look at my picture. It's me in front of a nuke going off. You think I've got confidence? Yeah, man. We've been doing this a long time, right? Rahul's been doing this since like 2004. I've been doing it since like 2012. So I've got 10 years. He's got 15. All agency stuff. We still run an agency. We've got plenty of people that work with contractors, roofers, all of that kind of stuff that have come through our program. We've got 200 plus success stories now. I mean,
so you're hearing me. Number one, what am I doing? I'm breaking the tension. I can see how stressed out he is in that call. I can see him rubbing his head like, oh man. So the first thing I do is I, in a hopefully non-cocky way, right, say, look at my picture, listen to my voice, right? I'm obviously confident in what we do. Ha ha ha. And I trigger that laugh on purpose so that he'll have to laugh. And so it breaks that tension. It gets him back into a happy, positive emotion, which is where you want them to be to actually make a purchase. The second thing I then do after that settled is, okay, hey, look, man, this is why I'm confident. We have X amount of experience. We've done all of these amazing things for amazing people. And that gets him now to see not only that I am confident, to break the tension, but also to see why I'm confident and to start believing in it and level up that certainty.
Seen a lot of them. I know you see the wins that we share, and you've been on a few of our things. So it's really, at this point, I know 2 things, right? I know based on our notes here that you've already, you've been fucked by a couple of programs. And so you're probably a little nervous about spending more money and trying to do this again. And I understand that completely. I know the second part of this is that, you've been around us and know long enough to know that we're straight shooters, and that we do get shit done, and we care about the people that are around us and in our program. Right. So that's really, at that point, it's just, do you want to be the guy that sits on the starting line and doesn't get off it, or do you want to be the guy that finishes the race even if he falls on his face a couple times, right?
And so this metaphor here that I use quite frequently, two people who are starting a race. One guy stuck at the starting line and the other guy just goes, right? A lot of people are that person that just sits on the starting line examining the track, trying to find that perfect route to run, while the other guy, who might not even be as competent as them, runs and finishes it. And I'm using this to start the process of understanding there's an opportunity cost to sitting around.
Just fell on my face too many times.
I understand, man. Look, we've all got that. I fell on my face plenty in the early years, and still every now and then I still fall on my face. But you know, the only difference is how long you stay down and how quick you can get back up.
Yeah, it's very true.
You see how long, right? I want this pointed out too. These long pauses. I'm doing this on purpose. You know, one of the biggest problems I see for a lot of salespeople is they do not know when to just stop talking, when to shut up and let them talk. What happened last time was a long pause, and then "are you confident" allowed me to help level up his certainty by him giving me the trigger word for what to say next, right? And a lot of the times that'll happen. So you have to learn to be okay in the uncomfortable silence so that you can close deals.
So how soon does things start rolling?
They can start right now. They can start whenever you are comfortable with going, right? So that's really all it is. You've got the money set aside to get going whenever. So when do you want to start? When's your comfort zone?
Exactly. It's actually, I'll be straight with you. I got myself in a bit of debt. Not just from this, from illness, and this is tax return money that I should be paying me debts with. And I'm thinking, do I pay me debts, or do I pay somebody to help me get this going, and then I can pay me debts?
And so up to this point, I'd asked earlier in the call if he had any money set aside as a budget to be able to do this, and he had said yes. And now we're running into, okay, it's time to step up to the bat. It's time to sign the check. It's time to do the thing. And you'll run into this frequently when you're trying to do high ticket sales, where, okay, now it's time to do it. Now there's a new excuse, right? So now it's like, oh shit, well, actually this money's literally earmarked for debts. I have to go pay off my debts. I have to go use this money for something else, right? And now suddenly it's an expense. It's like, well, do I spend this money here, or do I spend this money there? As opposed to an investment of, I could spend it here and not get anything, or I could invest it here and get a return. And you'll run into this a lot right near this exact same section. So pay attention.
I mean, I'm always of the latter, just because one thing is a micro moment and the other is a macro, right? So one thing might help relieve a little bit of stress now, but the other one is actually trying to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Okay.
So listen to what I said right there. Micro versus macro. Help alleviate a tiny bit of pain now, or invest to accomplish what you want to accomplish later. That's me creating contrast of expense versus investment, of trying to get a person to switch from small picture thinking to big picture thinking in order to invest in themselves and make some money down the road and really believe in the solution.
This has been why I've been toying. This is why I've still got the money 3 weeks later.
So you knew secretly, you knew. So then I think you've already made the decision. You just have to actually, now it's time to actually make the decision, if you know what I mean.
And this is me prompting him, right? I'm leading the direction. I'm saying, it looks like you've already made this decision. It looks like you've already done this. And even if he wasn't before, now he's getting led down that path that, you know what, maybe I did already make this decision. Maybe this was already a yes in my head. So we're pulling him along that straight line. We're getting him all the way down to the close.
It's always easier as a concept than it is as an action. Oh, are you cutting it on me? Still there?
Are you there?
I am, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, somebody tried phoning me.
How dare they?
I know. Give me till the end of the week to think about it. I'm pretty sure that I'll be joining you.
So now you can hear another one, another final thing that's happened, right? What have we dealt with in this one? Actually, think about it objection now, money objection, and confidence objection. So here's what I do to progress this.
So we can do that. I mean, honestly, to be 100% clear, I am moving the next couple of days anyway. So Friday would have probably been the best day for me. Do you want me just to put something on the calendar for the morning? Actually, right around, would the same time work on Friday? Or I know you're busy, you're at a construction thing, right?
Well, because it's a job that's behind, and they've brought me in to pull them out of the shit, basically. I'm like the cavalry. They're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Oh, I have no doubt. So, I mean, look, we have another option here too. If you have like a credit card or something that we could take even like $100 deposit on, we could set up we could set up an actual onboarding call for like Monday or Tuesday of next week. And then, I mean, you're perfectly fine if you have a complete 180 change of heart or whatever before then, you can pull out, that's fine. But at least this way it locks me in, and I know we can just set up the onboarding call. And that way, if you're still working on Friday and you're still at your job, you can just finish that up. And then next Monday or Tuesday, we could actually just kick this shit off and get going.
Yeah. The problem I've got is I've left my wallet in the caravan. What I will do, can you send me a link for a payment link?
Yeah, I can do that. Is it Paul Griefson at construction?
So I'm going to talk over this so that you can hear.
That's still your.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll send you a $100 deposit link.
And so what did we do there, guys? We took a deposit. You want to think about it? Okay, but we've had some urgency. You know that this is supposed to be an action-based thing. So I create urgency now by saying, hey, my schedule is filling up and it's me personally that wants to attend to your needs. And so if we want to get this locked in and just get an onboarding call and get started, if you're 90% sure anyway, here's a frictionless entry point, a small deposit, a $100 deposit. Send you the link and you paid this within 20 minutes. Send you the link, you pay it. That confirms our onboarding process. And look, if you need out before then, more power to you. But it closed, it went through, we did the onboarding, you paid the rest on the onboarding, and we went through on that. And so hopefully this was helpful to you guys to combat not just one or two, but actually three: confidence objection, money objection, and then I need to think about it objection. And that last one can be really hard for people. Once you think you've got it across the line, they pull that out. It's easy to just say, let me take this exit ramp and we'll close this on next Wednesday or something. Get the deposit. Even if it's just a $1 deposit, guys, to confirm and pay for your time, it gets your credit card information on file and allows the next stage of the close to be a lot easier. So hopefully this was helpful for those three objection guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.